Huge things are happening in the financial markets at the moment with the Iran conflict, gas prices, US changes in government. And guys, we're going to be talking about everything in today's video. So what is the latest in the Iran conflict? Why is the S&P 500 dropping and then going back up? Are there some strange forces at work? We're going to talk about the latest coming out of the US government, the Iranian government as well. And then we're going to talk about some secret names at the end of the video and also some predictions that are potentially leading us to where this conflict goes next. I will talk about that at the end, plus the gold, silver, and financial markets as well. If you guys enjoy these videos, do me a favor, please like the video. If we can get 10 likes on the video, I appreciate that. And if we can break 100 views, that would, that would be great as well. So usually we get stuck at like 70 or 80 views, and we'll aim for 100 views today. That'd be really good for the channel. And having said that, guys, let's get straight into it. So I just want to comment on the mysterious forces that are at work to begin with, because yesterday, which was in the markets, you can see right here, Thursday, something strange happened with the S&P 500. So we had some pretty bad news come out. You could see the S&P 500 dropping, and then some mysterious forces at work have pumped this back up. So I would probably say the big M word is at play here, manipulation, because there really hasn't been any good data, any good news to reflect this pump back up in price. And it might actually link into something that we'll talk about at the end of the video too. These are potentially secret names. But I just wanted to point out that was extremely strange. That was yesterday's price moves. We have the S&P 500. It's going to open up flat today. If it is trading, I don't know if it's trading actually today. Today is Good Friday, so I know lots of people are taking some time off. I have decided to make a video today, just a quick one. But it might be a public holiday tomorrow in America with Good Friday. I'm not sure. Guys, let me know in the comment section below. Is it a public holiday? Are you watching this on your day off? Comment down below. Having said that, let's talk about that. So that is a mysterious force at work right there with the S&P 500. Let's talk about some of these big developments, because these threats coming in from both parties are coming true. So yesterday, we spoke about Trump's threats to, blow Iran back to the Stone Age and start destroying some bridges. And they have just started to destroy, bridges in Iran. And to be honest, I think this is a huge shame, because you can see this bridge right here, one of the biggest ones, probably a very important one. And I did ask Grok, how much of this bridge is going to be used for civilian purposes. And Grok has said about, at least 92% of this is going to be used for civilian purposes. So it's probably similar, if you're in the US, like the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge getting, blown up or something like that. That's probably the same deal for the Iranians right here that's happening. And this is the rhetoric that has been coming out of the US recently. So we listened into the speech where Trump wanted to blow Iran back to the Stone Age. And then you have Trump's little henchman, Peter Hegseth, just dropping some tweets right here, back to the Stone Age. And this has got 31 million views right here. Insane amount of engagement. And look, the people on X are not happy with this as well. So most of the comments are pretty negative against Pete Hegseth right now. And to be honest, rightfully so. Rightfully so with this type of, just destruction rhetoric as we're seeing. There's also big moves happening in the government. So Pam Bondi is potentially out. So US Presidential Donald J. Trump has officially announced that Pam Bondi will be stepping down as Attorney General, and that Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, will step in to take over right here. And that is going to be something to, have on the radar as this. And, there has been heavy criticism, not only against Pam Bondi, but also Trump himself for the whole handling of the e-files. That is a completely unresolved issue as well. So you guys know, if you've checked out the e-files, it is completely unresolved. I think that's still there's still gonna be a lot of stuff to come out of that. So watch out for that. And also in the back end as well, we also had a general, I think the chief of staff of the American military has decided, or he's been fired by Pete Hegseth. And this is a potential prelude that's coming in for what happens next. And we'll talk about that, but it does look like this phase, based off the rhetoric, based off what's going on, is potentially going to that next level. So US Army General Randy George has been asked to step down and retire immediately from Pete Hegseth. So that is happening. And again, it's another indication of some big things are coming in the pipeline. US gasoline prices head to record highs. So for the first time since 2022, it's rising more than $1 in the last month. And you can see right here, getting higher and higher and higher. And this is the war that, you know, the whole world is basically going to pay for. So even if you're not from the US, you're going to be paying for this at the gas pump. You're going to be paying for it in the form of higher inflation. You're going to be paying for it in lots of different ways right there. So that is important to understand. Gas prices going up. And Peter Schiff says right here, it's now been a year since Liberation Day. Over the ensuing year, the S&P 500 rose about 16%, while the price of gold gained about 50%. Over the course of the next year, I expect the gap in relative performance to widen, with the S&P 500 potentially falling as gold keeps going up. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but that's a nice bullish prediction coming in from Peter Schiff about the commodities, financial markets, the gold price as well. And guys, we also have the redeployment of military hardware coming back into the Middle East. So it does look like we are seeing, look, US Gerald Ford redeploying to the theater of war after it fled, and it's coming back in. Now, this could be the grand kind of battle that is going to take place soonish. And remember, what else is at play right here is, you know, the longer this thing doesn't get resolved, you know, either outcome right here, you know, US wins or US defeat, or Iran wins or Iranian defeat, you know, the longer this thing stays in conflict, you have to understand this is going to be worse. So remember, it's like someone has went like unconscious and they're not breathing. It's like the global supply of oil has temporarily, you know, there's a chokehold on it at the moment. And the longer that goes on, you know, the more damage to the world economy. And you basically want to resuscitate the system as soon as quick as possible. So scary stuff happening with the global economy right now. And that's why I said, look, it's mysterious. It's mysterious, the S&P 500 pumping back up. And Iran is coming out. So this is what the Iranians are saying. So Pete Hegseth is saying, back to the Stone Age. And Iran says right here, striking civilian structures, including unfinished bridges, will not compel Iranians to surrender. It only conveys the defeat and moral collapse of an enemy in disarray. Every bridge and building will be built back stronger. What will never recover, damage to America's standing. And so they are the words coming out of the Iranian foreign minister right here. And we have this bombshell as well coming out of this guy who seems to be very well connected into the financial markets. He is no other than the parliament speaker, Speaker of the Islamic Republic of Iran's parliament, MB Ghalibaf. And he says right here, we followed the money. Last week, a handful of bankers and hedge funds decided to hold Washington's Iran war policy hostage, then launch a campaign. Name the names. Yes, please, I voted right here. And he's got the option nah. So 2.8% of the population want to, you know, stay in the NPC mode. And Ackman here, invite lost question mark, is 26.5% as well. And that is coming out of this guy. And this guy is pretty. He's an interesting character. Let's be honest about that. He's got some pretty interesting tweets and viral tweets as well. Which is really interesting. He is also pointing out the hypocrisy of, you know, some characters from the US saying here, you know, Marco Rubio saying, imagine if instead of spending billions on weapons, Iran spent that money on its people, they'd have a much different country. And to be honest, did you guys even see the news that came out yesterday? And that is Trump wants to switch to a war economy in 2027. So remember, in a war economy, and don't fall for the getting trapped into the thinking. Guys, who benefits in a war economy? You can see, like, you can literally see what happens in a war economy. There's lots of construction of planes and bombs, and they get blown up. So really, it's the military-industrial complex is a massive beneficiary of this war economy. If Trump does decide to switch into it, who doesn't win? It just means that money, that infrastructure, doesn't get spent on civilian purposes. So it's really, it's a zero-sum game between the war economy and the civilian economy. So, you know, you can actually see it play out perfectly in Iran right now. But he wants to cut healthcare and other domestic agencies to fund it. So there you go. That is the US priorities next year. Just moving into just building bombs and planes and blowing things up. And if we have a look right here, this is interesting. So this is a Polymarket prediction that could potentially tell us where this goes next. So this is getting strange. A wallet that made nearly $500,000 by predicting The exact dates of the previous strikes on Iran is back. Now it's placed over $800,000 on US troops entering Iran. Potential payout $1.2 million. So there you go. Big money is basically predicting that there is going to be this conflict where the US does roll the dice. It does go all in on trying to capture the Strait of Hormuz, and it tries to just take this thing over. So that is the money. That is where the money is getting betted right now in the market, over on Polymarket. And maybe we can look at some of these Polymarket details, a closer look, because yeah, people are making money off this over on Polymarket. And you can see, look, S&P 500 doing some strange things. The financial markets are doing some strange things. Gold, you know, it did have a bit of a drop yesterday, so you can see it go from about 4,000. Whoa, got but nearly up to. It did get up to 4,800. So go gold, and then it dropped down to 4,500, and then it's bouncing back up. So gold is going back up. You guys know we love our gold, and we love our silver as well. Silver is rebounding, so I think the metals are looking good. And I think you can have a look right here. Look, this oil price next week. Unless there can be suppression and manipulation of the financial markets, this thing might really explode. So you might see $115, $120 oil as that chokehold on the world economy gets stronger and stronger. And maybe, you know, the world economy loses consciousness as this battle goes on. And but I am quite bullish on. I like commodities. I really do like metals. I think commodities are going to do very well. And I've actually seen predictions out there as well. It might be wise if you're a beef eater like I am. You're going to be seeing U.S. ground beef going to record all-time highs. So steak, beef, you can pre-buy your beef and freeze it if you don't want to pay double the price. And look at that. Look at that beef production cost. That is going to the moon. Right there. So the price of beef is going up, and it could potentially double. So again, the important things that, you know, people value, like I value beef, I value some steak, that's going to the moon. So the beef coin is going to the moon effectively right there, and the war economy is coming online. So guys, the clouds are getting stormy. The future is getting a bit stormy. So hold on to your seats. And that is today's major update. So just prepare for, you know, obviously something big is potentially going to happen next week. And we'll see how this all plays out. You know, could Trump be bluffing the whole time? We're going to find out. But the rhetoric is matching the destruction right now. That's what we're honestly seeing. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to bear witness to this whole disaster situation for the world economy and the Middle East right now. So that's today's update. If you want the next update, guys, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow the subs. We're up to 300 plus subs. It'd be great to get to maybe 350. And we'll try and get 100 views on this video. If we can get that, I'll be happy. And 10 likes. That's the goal of today's video. But guys, appreciate you tuning in. Go have a great day. I will see you in the next one.